welcome back to Survival with Fix. This is an episode I did not plan on recording tonight, actually. I've been working on another video. It's going to be a really big one. It's actually another 100 days video, but a little bit different. I'll tell you more about it later. I'll just give you this little teaser right here. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going back to the zombie thing. I have a story that I really want to tell that I think you're all going to love, so I've been working on it. I'm about 50 clips in, and if you know the way my 100 days videos are, they take between 200 and 400 clips to do, so I would say I'm about, what, an eighth of the way through or something like that, but it's going really well, and I'm really enjoying doing it. Well, today we're back in the end, though, because I was watching a Dallas Mead video, his episode 496. I think he's getting close to 500, which is absolutely amazing. And just listening to him talk about sort of the future and having a Minecraft world for a really long time. And honestly, as much as I enjoy doing the 100-day video or sort of the one-off videos or all that kind of stuff, my dream, my goal, the one creative thing, the most creative aspect of my current life is I love to have a world with a lot of lore, a lot of history, and all that kind of stuff. And you know, this is it. This is the world that I have that's going to have a lot of history, and it's just going to be around for a billion years and all that kind of stuff. You know how it is. So I wanted to get back into it. So tonight, instead of recording the zombie outbreak thing, instead of that, we're actually back here in the end because I have some building that I want to do, and I want to do a farm today, one that I've never ever done before. Because what I'm building here in the end, I'm going to want a lot of lighting, and the specific kind of lighting I want, as nice as this is with the shaders, I want end rods. I want a lot of end rods. So I need to build one of those chorus fruit farms. There aren't a lot of really great tutorials that at least I found online, so I have kind of a fun one that I'm going to do. I'm going to do it right over there on the other side of that that area over there. Speaking of that, let me just, how about if I just put one of these on my head and don't die? Yeah, that's cool. I do have a resource pack, by the way, that eliminates the overlay because of YouTube reasons and whatever, you know. So yeah, so we got to get to building, but before I get into the chorus fruit farm, I need to add more pumpkin up on top. I need a lot more layers of pumpkin farm for specifically jack-o'-lanterns, not really for pumpkins as much, but yeah, let's get to building that right away and see what we can come up with. I got the first floor of this laid out, and the second floor is about ready to be planted. Once it gets planted, then I'm going to feel pretty good about the beginning of this. I do want to probably go up like maybe 4 or even 5 layers. I basically want these to be always full so I can always get at least 3 or 4 stacks, because whenever I build here in the moon in the end, it's going to be big builds. This is going to be an absolutely mega build onto itself. I love end mega builds. I love it. I've seen them so many times, and I really want to have one. So that being said, every single building I do, it's got to be pretty big. These farming buildings are kind of utility, but I need a lot of the jack-o'-lanterns to build the mega builds that are going to be upcoming. Like even the ring out there, I want to have like jack-o'-lanterns all around it to just give that awesome shaders glow that I have. You know, it's just going to be really, really great. That all being said, this is a big grinder, and I'm basically out of moonstone, unfortunately, and it's a little painful to harvest. You know, it's just slow. It's like deep slate. So I'm going to have to harvest and skim off probably another layer down here of the moon. Now, that's going to be okay, because look, I'm still up higher than this, and I don't really want to be. So I have a lot of moonstone that I can take down, and I'm just going to have to start, sadly. So it's time to put on my audiobook. If you're wondering what I'm listening to, don't worry about it. It's not very good. I'm listening to, I ran out of Audible credits, actually, so I looked for one of those Prime listening books, and yeah, it's not great, but until I get my next credit, I'm just too cheap to buy a new credit, so I just gotta wait. Off-camera building here, and I have 4 complete floors already. Now the top one doesn't have lights yet. That's still what I got to work on here, but unfortunately I am just waiting on more jack-o'-lanterns to grow. I'm getting close to having enough, and oh yeah, this is going to do it for sure. So while I share these, hey, let's talk about the new big Minecraft news, and that is the 1.20 armor customization. Folks, I need a close up here. Well, that's not going to do it here. I need a Folks, I am so excited about this. I am not like a pets cosmetic kind of fella. I'm not, honestly, but this is next level stuff. I am super psyched about the armor customization. I mean, I love every aspect of it. I like every way that they did it. I love that they are going to spread out the world more and make, you know, put stuff all over the world in jungle temples and ocean monuments and all kinds of stuff. So like for an old world, you're going to go out and explore and find some new stuff, which is super cool. And for, you know, new worlds, you're going to have to go into a bastion just to get netherite. I mean, I am blown away at this update now. Like, I went from sorta, man, I don't want to say I was complaining, but I was like complaining a little bit. I was kind of like, so hey, are we gonna get some new stuff here at some point, you know? Like, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit with this just massive update, massive change. It's really, really, really cool. I am so excited. Are you all as excited as I am? I don't know if that's possible, to be honest, but like, I hope you are, because I think it's just gonna be really cool. I'm thinking in this world, I'm thinking that we could have like a temple that's gonna house all the different, is it called templates or something, or I forget what it's called, but you know, like the tablet things that you have to go out and find, whatever those things are called. What, you know, we could have like a temple. Maybe the Kingdom, the Avon might be a perfect place to have those and just keep them there. And then anytime I want to customize my armor, I'll go to there and I'll use the template, something like that. I think that's really cool. I love that there's another use for diamonds. You know, it's going to cost 7 diamonds to duplicate one of those, which I think is really cool because honestly, with mending and netherite now, diamonds have kind of been sort of left behind. Like, I keep getting them when I'm mining, but I don't need them for like anything. So I think it's really cool to have another use for diamonds. And, you know, I think people could be actually using diamond ore now, or diamond armor and things like that, just because it looks so cool. Also, I like the new netherite upgrade. I mean, I'm not going to say that I won't complain about it. I probably will at some point, but I think it's really, really cool that netherite is a little bit going to be take longer to get, be harder to get. I think that's just awesome. I think that's the way it absolutely should be. I think I am so excited and thrilled with what they did here. So, okay, so the next thing I need to do here in this world is this. I gotta put down lights because that's the only way I can get these jack-o'-lanterns to grow. I can plant them with no light, but they won't grow. Or if they do, it's extremely slowly. So once I plop these jack-o'-lanterns down, then they should grow pretty quickly, and hopefully I'll be done with this, well, at least the interior portion of this build fairly soon here. I'm very, very excited about bringing in purple, the new texture I have for purple that I did not make. I talked about that in my texture pack episode, but I'm very excited to bring it in because I've been starting to farm these. I'm just farming them manually. Now, that's not all that completely different from how I'm going to be farming them in the new farm. It's just that my collection system will be better. It'll be like water stream collection, and that's it. But basically, I'm going to have, I think, maybe like 10 or 16, some sort of nice round number of planting spots, and then that'll be broken by water. But before I break them, I'll have to make sure I hit 10 or however many of these with my bow, and that's going to be essentially the system. Now, I have this much chorus fruit, and I think what I have to do is smelt that. So I'm going to head, well, I'm going to grab as much more as I have. I think I might have some more. Let me check in here. I do. I have a little bit more. I'm going to take all of it and save this here. Yeah, I'm gonna take all of it, and we're gonna head back to where Steelport. Let's go back to Steelport and do a little bit of smelting. Also, I probably need to get some more food. I don't really have any food here. I did, by the way, I did plant a couple rows of potatoes up there. I figure I kind of live off of potatoes. Hey, let me ask you a question. Leave me a comment. What do you live off of in your world? I think, do we all revert to basically one thing? We all do, right? Like, we all kind of just go to our one go-to food all the time. I mean, do you go like the extra mile for steak or salmon or something, or what do you do? Let me know in the comments. I'd really love to know that. I'm really interested.
You must think that I'm a restless case because I ran away, If you listen to the words I say, you know that I'm okay.
I smelled it a lot, and it just doesn't look like that much when I do it like that. I guess that's okay. I was just kind of hoping for more, you know, but okay. So we have this many. It seems like I may need to grind this purple a lot more, but that's okay. So we're going to be doing a farm for purple here shortly. maybe real soon. But I do want to do a little bit of decoration before I get into that because I need to figure out a way to get up to the other level. So let's head back to the end. While we're here at the end, let me show you something that's a little bit annoying. This isn't the end, this is the nether. Well, let me show you something that's a little bit annoying about my nether tunnel. See if you can find the path that goes to the end. Can you find it? Can you find it? Yeah, it was right there. This is really bad. Yeah, so here's the problem. I need to have something here that is very obvious. So I think what I might end up doing is in this area, maybe building like a circle that goes around here that's fairly big with a big dome that says like arrows. Oh, that way to the end over there, or this way to the other things and whatever, you know? Make each one of the sort of intersections like a hub so it's obvious. Does that make sense? We might try that. Oh, look what I've decided to do. Oh man, I don't feel great about this. I mean, it needs to go. These pillars need to go. Oh man, this is like the shortest one. I'm doing this now because where I want to sort of landscape, it's really in the way, but I think I'm gonna get rid of all of the obsidian pillars, at least down to sort of the moon base level. I just feel like I was gonna decorate them maybe or do something, but I just feel like they just should go, and then I can just build the city around it. This is supposed to be a flourishing moon city, right? Connected with all sort of interconnected pathways and walkways and laboratories and science-y stuff. Probably some spaceships and everything, right? Like, these big obsidian pillars, they're just... Oh, they gotta go, and I don't want to tear them all down. It's taking a really long time, and I'm just starting on the very smallest one, but I guess that's where we're at now. I'm not doing all of them today. I'm not doing all of them today, but yeah, I'm gonna take them down eventually. Maybe I'll do like one per moon episode or something like that until they're all gone. But look how big this one is. Look how big that one is. And not only tall, but it's also super thick. Oh, this is awful. This is awful. Yeah, this is just about the most grind I've done for the beginning of an episode in quite a long time. And yeah, we got those two obsidian pillars done. I need to build right there, and they were just in my way. So they had to go. I'm not doing any more for quite a while, but at least I did it now. So I'm going to go harvest the rest of this purpur. And, you know, I probably don't need that many of these to get started. I'm really convinced that I'm just going to go maybe 32 in my actual farm. I think that'd be enough. I don't want to be standing here shooting my bow more than 32 times just constantly. You know, it takes a while. I really wish that you could just break the bottom and actually get the seeds, but I don't believe that you can. If there's a way, would you mind leaving it for me in a comment? I did check it out. I did look online, do a little quote-unquote research, which means I Googled it for about 2 minutes, which is apparently all the research it takes to have a strong opinion on health or politics or vaccines or anything else. But regardless of all that, let me know. Let me know if I'm just, you know, missing something like an idiot. Oh, I'm getting hit with my flaming. I'm going to have to make a new arrow that's not flaming because that's not fun, and that happens consistently. It happens consistently whenever I'm breaking these things. Okay, well, let me get all this stuff and we'll get into building at least the stairs and then probably starting to decorate this building. You know, I had plans of building this farm here, but as time continues to tick on, that may end up being a next episode thing. I don't know. Kind of thing looks kind of like the Jawa's walker shape, right? Kind of size and everything. All right, let's get to building. I'm going to work on these stairs first, and you know, one of the things that I always notice in Dallas's world, I know I just talked about it, I've just been really on a tear of watching, even rewatching a bunch of his older videos that I watched quite a while ago, and one thing that I really notice is, I notice the scale and the size of his world, which I really appreciate. I really think that's a cool thing, and I'm talking specifically about like the scale of individual rooms and stuff, because I feel like sometimes I build a little bit small, like, no, not small as far as world building goes, but I'm talking small as in the little things, like small hallways and stuff like that. And that's something I think I could take from Dallas and really maybe create something that's rather cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go, this is going to be a wall block, because I don't want to share a wall in case I end up doing a design here, right? So this is going to be the wall, and then we're going to go one here, and then what we'll do is one of these guys, and then we'll go one. I'm gonna have to change this. I just realized one of these, and then one of these, and then a wall. Okay, so we're gonna go that big. Now that's pretty big, and I'm gonna have to have a way to sort of get up there. So that's gonna change just a little bit. But let's go just kind of along here. I don't know how big or wide this is gonna be, but this is gonna allow me to have a wall. So I don't know. Should we do like? let's just start it here. We'll have a little bit of a platform first. You know what I'm saying? We'll do a little bit of a flat area before we get into the actual like walk up, because this is going to have sort of a way in. This is my normal lore segment, and it's going to take a little bit of a turn for the different for a couple episodes. I'm working on expanding the world, and a lot of expanding the world isn't necessarily just our main storyline. I also want to tell the stories about just the people who live here. Well, this is the first story now. It's going to be multi-part, so you're going to hang in there for 4, 5, 6 episodes to hear the entire story, and then we'll get back to our ongoing story about Steve Tepek and Cal and all the rest of our cast of characters. Carl Winters is an old man living in New Hope. He's quick with a smile and friendly to all who meet him on the street, but if he has a few drinks at Honk's Tavern, he'll sometimes tell his tale of life beyond the safety of New Hope's walls. When he was a much younger man, he lived with his parents in a small hamlet called Maplevale, just to the south of Sandgill. There was a certain young lady he was quite taken by and would sneak out late at night after his folks thought he was asleep. One night, Carl's late-night rendezvous took a dark turn. The moon was just the barest sliver that chilly fall evening. As he walked, Carl pulled his bright yellow scarf up around his neck. The wind was mostly still that night, but with a strong gust came across the water, the cold ran deep. The walk from his old farmhouse to Sally's was only 30 minutes if he stayed on the road, but recently the bandit attacks were getting closer to home, and Carl thought it would be safer to cut across the country. Heck, he even thought he might save some time off his trip. He was passing by Fink's Bridge when he first heard the sound. It was a low, deep guttural groan originating somewhere under the bridge. Carl froze. Seconds went by. The only sound was the splash of the water lapping up on the bridge supports. He cautiously took a step forward, then another. After pausing again and hearing nothing but silence on a clear night, Carl shook his head and started walking again. My imagination, he uttered to himself, shaking his head. He wasn't even off the bridge yet again when he heard it. This time, even louder. Closer. Carl froze again. He looked down, peering between the planks. The half-rotted spruce boards were placed just far enough that he could see eyes glaring up at him. Hateful, evil eyes. I am getting kind of overwhelmed with seeds. I have an amazing amount of seeds right now, and I would like to deal with that. So I'm just going to deal with that kind of the only way I can really think to do it, and that's just going to be compost the crap out of all of them and just see where that leaves us. I mean, I guess I could. I don't need like the chest constantly, but I think that'll be good, right? Yeah, that should be fine. Then I can just dump seeds right down there. For example, let me try a couple. I'll just grab these ones right here, and then we'll dump them in and see if it makes its way all down to the bottom. It's going to be very slow, but I figure I won't use this that much, but then when I do use it, I'll use like a lot of it, right? Like I won't use it for a long time while all the stuff grows, and then I'll just dump all the seeds all at one time. Should work. I just did another little test, and yeah, everything's just going to be filtered straight down, so whatever floor I throw the pumpkin seeds in, it's just going to go directly out there. This is a pretty nice little system here, I think. I just, you know, throw them in a chest and then let it work its magic, and I should have a pretty decent source of bone meal, which is going to be really great, because one of the things I want to do now, this is something I did in my Bedrock world, is I want to color code the 3 different sort of departments. You know how Star Trek has the different uniforms, like in Next Generation, red is for command, and blue is for medical, and yellow is for like engineering. I kind of want to do the same, and I'm going to do the same with mostly terracotta. I think my terracotta is gone. It's over here. So this is white, unfortunately. This is white terracotta. So all of the white terracotta buildings are going to have like sort of white outlines of some sort. I haven't exactly decided how I want to do it, but I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll even just do it like this and really bring in some of that white like Okay. I have shuffle one. Yeah, something like this. Anyway, maybe even up around all the way. Maybe every building will be kind of different. But the theme of all of the organic and farming and all that kind of stuff is going to be white. I don't know what the others are going to be yet. I'll probably have a command thing, and then maybe I'll have a machines or something like that. Look at that. That's got to get covered. That looks pretty terrible. Anyway, yeah, I think it's kind of a cool idea and gonna help sort of flush out some of the lore. I've been farming quartz for about an hour. I don't have a great quartz technique. How do y'all find quartz in your worlds? I tend to strip mine instead of just fly around aimlessly on the surface of the nether, because I'm also figuring, well, I might find some ancient debris too. And you know, with the new changes, ancient debris is going to be twice as valuable as it was before. But yeah, I've been finding quartz, and as I was just flying back to the end to see if I got enough for the roof of this hallway area, I found a little bit more in the tunnel, so I thought I'd come in and take it. Yeah, you know, I think this is gonna be good. I may regret using quartz, but it's such a cool look. I think it's the best look for this kind of thing, and so that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with a quartz roof and probably end rods on top of this. So if you check out the progress on the place, everything is starting to look really, really, really cool. I want to start with this hallway here. I want this hallway to be done because this is the new building that I have. So we're just going to do, I think I'm just going to do regular quartz. I don't think I want to do quartz bricks or smooth quartz. I think I just want to do regular quartz because I kind of want it to look like a drop ceiling. You know those drop ceilings a lot of people have in their basements? That's kind of what I want to do, except for more of a sci-fi version. So I think it'll look really cool. We're just going to go, oh man, I hate to do it, but I think we're just going to go like, I'm going to need some stairs, but I don't want to make any more stairs than I have to. So let's just do 36 stairs and we'll do all the rest just slabs. I hope that's enough. Gee whiz, I hope it's enough. All right, well, let's get going here and see if it works out. Yeah, well, forget that. It wasn't even close to enough. I thought I had like tons, and yeah, it just didn't go far at all. So I'm gonna need to get basically an inventory of quartz, and I am, you know, honestly, I was gonna go back in my tunnels and look for netherite at the same point, but I actually just went in the wrong nether portal and forgot what I was doing. So here I am on the surface doing the thing that I just got done saying I didn't want to do. Yeah, I'm just stripping the surface of the nether. Whatever. I'll fix it up someday whenever we do our nether rehab. But honestly, if you're in the tunnel that's over there somewhere, you can't really see out the tunnel that well anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. I would like to not die while I'm here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not. Guess who's not wearing a gold helmet today, right now? I'm not. I'm not at all. I've done a little bit more building. I threw this little thing up, and I really, really like it. Also, I finished surrounding this with the first bit of the jack-o'-lanterns here. I need more to grow, but I like this a lot. I think this is going to be a design that I go with throughout not just this part of the build, but all the rest. So you can see from the white terracotta on the outside that this is obviously sort of an organic wing. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the organic stuff over on this side, all of the command stuff sort of over on that third, and then over there, all of the sort of the machines and all that kind of stuff. That way you can know as you walk through the halls, and we're going to have sprawling hallways and all that kind of stuff all around this entire place, which section you're in. I think it's going to look really cool. That all being said, I'm basically out of terracotta. Also, I need a lot of black ink, so back to the overworld. I have basically no ink stored whatsoever, so I'm just going to be up here enjoying this beautiful view. Man, I really need to do something. I hate these glass boxes in the sky. This has got to become probably a blimp. I can't really think of a better thing, you know, but I'm looking at this area right here. I mean, I have so many plans for this world, and you know, plans has been something that's been on my mind a lot. If you've been around the channel for a long time, you know that sort of my style of content has changed a good bit here recently, and it's because I am making some sort of decisions and some life changes is coming. More on that later, but the short end is I may be looking at possibly starting a different career, and before I can even do the different quote career, I need to do some schooling and stuff like that. I'm going to talk more about it once sort of I dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but that could be coming in the very near future. Now, my plans for getting back into doing these sort of big giant mega videos and stuff like that, I don't know that that's going to come back. Like, at least not for a very long time, if not ever, because I am potentially going to be back at school, as well as still being a musician and still trying to do videos and still, most importantly, dadding my kids, right? Thanks for the update there, Windows. So, you know, yeah, we'll see. Possibly huge life changes coming up soon. I'm trepidatious. I'm a little trepidatious about it. I'm a little excited about it, but a lot of stuff on the horizon. But we'll see. Man, this is really nice farmland over here. Thanks to having 2 Minecraft accounts, I do this sometimes. Hey, Fixxitt. This used to be my old name, Fixxitt. Now I'm Fixxitt412 as far as my official account goes. That way everything is the same. Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and everything else is Fixxitt412. So now that is done, I'm going to be flying around here. I think I'm going to go... Yeah, let's go and harvest some terracotta. While he is AFK over in that area, we're going to take my main and go harvest some terracotta, and then we'll come back and get a whole bunch of ink and go back to the end and hopefully finish up this build fairly soon. The question or comment of the day from Shadow Plays. I really enjoyed this episode. I have a question though. How do you deal with the frustration that comes when a build isn't turning out right? I know you've mentioned you do other things in the world, but what if you're hyper-focused on the building and the problem? What then? Happens to me a decent bit, and I thought I would get your advice. You know, that's a great question because it's something that we all struggle with, and you know, to be completely honest, I've struggled with on this exact build that you're looking at right now. Let me hang out with my friends over here. So my biggest advice is keep adding blocks. That's almost always the answer. Like, you have this big empty wall here, and again, it's not very good, blah, 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 blah. Just keep adding blocks. Add more stuff, and eventually, you're going to come out with something that is nice. I'm not saying you need to go over detailed, but it's almost always the case where if you add more, things will get better. If you don't like it, you can always tear it down. A lot of people will tear it down first, but man, I think that's a lot of wasted time. You know, in my mind, you just keep adding detail, adding layers. Layers are a huge thing. You know, layers, by adding layers, you're going to get a lot more sort of interest in the completed build once it's done than you would if you just try to sort of do it all in 1 or 2 layers, you know? So I know, like, this building is not done. I'm going to be doing some texturing and stuff like that later on. I don't even know if I showed this sort of chimney elevator sort of idea that I came up with in the end to block that chest area. But yeah, you just keep adding layers. Just keep adding stuff. Add. And at some point then, you very likely, if not for sure, will get something that you feel pretty good about. This has got to go, but I do not have the energy to take down these 2 obsidian portals this episode. Next episode, we'll definitely take those down. Well, maybe not next episode. Next episode, we're in the end, though. We'll definitely take those down. I think that's about it, though. I think that's about my entirety of thoughts on that, and probably my entirety of time on this episode. We've been here for quite some time. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're liking where the build is going right now. I know I really am. I'll see you all next episode from Survival with Fix.